The man, UFC featherweight champion Alex Volkanovski, fresh off his first title defense, still in quarantine in Sydney. Alex, thank you for joining us now. How closely did what we see in the octagon Sunday morning at UFC 251 reflect the game plan that you and Joe and Eugene had going into this fight?
Yeah, it was definitely a close one. He come out. He made adjustments from the first fight, which we were aware he would do. We thought he would come out and make some adjustments. Um, Again, yeah, start off well. Then first two rounds, I needed to make adjustments halfway through the fight. You know what I mean? So obviously, it was a pretty competitive first round. Then he got the knockdown. So obviously that round's gone. 10-9 to him. You got to let that one go. Same thing happens in the second. Got to let that one go, and then now obviously it's all up to the last three. So I had to make adjustments, and won't get into detail with the adjustments I did, but it was a close one, but I was very confident in the last three rounds that I did enough, and the judges thought so too. So yeah, it was a close fight. Max done really well, but again, I had to dig deep and show everyone what champions are made of, and I went out and did that. So again, all props to Max for coming out so strong, but again, I had to dig deep and show a lot of heart and get the job done.
Alex, it's agonizing enough to hear split decisions read in non title fights. It's exponentially more consequential with a belt at stake. As you're standing there, what is the feeling like when you hear the first judge's score read and you know this is a split and you just have to wait this out to hear which way you're going to be headed in your career in the next couple seconds?
Yeah, it is scary. It's definitely scary. You sit there, and obviously I knew it was close. I knew it. I was pretty confident it come down to that third round. I was confident I did enough in that third round. But you never know what the judges are going to think. The judges thought the same as me, so I got the nod. Again, it definitely was a close fight. I was pretty confident. Uh, you know, Even looking at the stats, the final stats afterwards, you could see I clearly won the last two and even the third round. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I knew it was close. And again, you can always get nervous when the judges are calling out. But again, I was pretty confident and thought I did enough. And the judges seen what I felt. You know what I mean? Again, I went in there, and you got to remember, I don't know what the commentary's saying. I don't know what the live stats are saying. For me, I was quite confident in that third round, and then I watched back the fight, and again, I was confident with that. You know what I mean? So, and then I seen the live stats afterwards as well, and then it just clearly shows that the judges made the right decision. Obviously, showing that I was 10 in the third round, showing that I was 10 strikes ahead, significant strikes ahead, and plus a little bit of control on the cage. So again, it's a close fight. I can see why. Obviously Max has got a lot of fans, and it was close. So a lot of people are gonna say what they want. I'm not gonna hate on people for that. I know it was a close fight, but again, the numbers show that the judges made the right decision. All I can say is I ain't gonna try and change people's mind now that you know the outcome. Now that you know the live stats, go back and watch the fight and make the decision for yourself again. I think that's what people need to do. I know a lot of people have done that, and then are quite happy with the judge's decision. So again, I'm not going to change anyone's mind. Just go see for yourself. Now that you know, go see for yourself.
Having stood across from Max for damn near an hour in a locked cage over the last, what, 7 months or so, how has it evolved you as a mixed martial artist?
Man, he's one of the best featherweights to ever do it, and he still is one of the best. So to take him out twice back to back is saying something. We knew going into this fight that this was gonna be a tough fight. We knew he was gonna make adjustments, and we know that all the other contenders, no, not knocking them. We know Max is the hardest opponent out of all the contenders. My team knew that as well. My team going into this last fight and the last two fights, we knew that this is the toughest match for us in our division. But at the same time, it was the only fight to do this rematch, even though I won clearly, five rounds to nil, I believe, in the first fight. A lot of people say, did I need to do the rematch? I said, let's just do it. There's no one else. Bring it on. I know he's the toughest fight. Just shows you what type of champion I am and I want to be. And I believe if I was in the same position, Max would do the same. That's why I wanted to give him that opportunity. And again, it was close, but people just got to look at it for what it is. I took him out twice back to back. The first fight was pretty convincing. Second fight was close. I'll give Max that. But again, if you look at the numbers, and I won 3 rounds. The scoring system, it is what it is. People can say, "Oh yeah, but he knocked him down and whatnot." I understand people. As a fight, they want to look at it however they want, but it's a scoring system. I knew this going into the fight. Max knew this going into the fight. It goes round by round. He can take them to first 2 rounds. He knows he needs one more round, and I didn't give it to him, and that just shows you what type of champion I am, and it shows you the hard determination that I have. So I'm not knocking Max. Again, he did a great job, but you can't rob me from what I done. You know what I mean? I got the last 3. Yes, they were still competitive rounds, but I'm pretty confident I clearly won them last 3, and the judges thought so. But again, it's a close fight. People are always going to say what they want. And again, Max is obviously got a lot of fans and a lot of people backing him. So he's got a lot of the support. But to act like it's a robbery and that is quite surprising. But at the same time, look, it was a close fight. People can say what they want. But hey, now that you know the numbers, now that you know how the fight went, just watch the fight again. Watch that 3rd round again. Watch that 4th round again, and then come back to me and then tell me what you think.
So, Alex, I've asked you how closely what we saw in the octagon matched your game plan. I've asked you about the feeling of a split decision. I've asked you how you've grown as a fighter. And in all 3 responses, you've gone to defending the fact that you did win the fight, even though that question wasn't even the one really being asked. How much is the general debate and general opinion affecting your ability to enjoy a win over a very good fighter?
Yeah, look, you're right. You're right. I shouldn't have to. I shouldn't have to be doing this, but obviously, again, a lot of people were talking about it. I was quite surprised. You know what I mean? I had no idea. In the fight, I knew it was close. Once my hand was raised, you got to look at it from my point of view. I thought I won the last 3 pretty comfortably. The judges thought the same thing. I went back and then didn't think anything of it. And then you obviously, I'm not silly, I'm not blind-eyed. And then I start seeing people acting the way they did. And then I'm like, oh, what's going on here? But, so maybe I do sound a little bit that way. But look, man, I'm confident I got the win. I really don't have to defend myself. I'm the champ. I know I'm the champ. I beat Max twice back to back. Again, he's a great fighter. Good on him for making the adjustments, but I just show you what type of great champion I was to make adjustments on the fly in the fight. That's really saying something. But again, I'm ready. I'm ready to move on. You know what I mean? I'm ready to move on and take on these number 1 contenders. And I want to be the greatest featherweight of all time. And to do so, you need to take out number 1 contenders. So bring them on.
All right, so let's look ahead. There isn't a clear-cut best option in terms of number 1 contenders, some stuff to figure out at featherweight. How does that lack of clarity affect your ideal time frame for making your 2nd defense of the belt?
Yeah, well, that's it. I want to stay active. I want to get another fight before the end of the year. So, and I'm hearing whispers that they're going to have October, maybe Fight Island back at October or something like that. So, whether that's an option. But again, we need to see what happens with this division. We've got a lot of guys supposedly that are going to be fighting each other in our division. I don't know when, but I'm going to have my eye on them. Obviously, we've got today, Dan Ige and Kato. I've got my eye on them. You got your Zabits, Rodriguez, uh, Zombie, Brian Ortega. You know what I mean? So I've got my eye on all of them. You know, any one of them, whoever gets a massive finish or a massive win, and whoever's looks dominant, like could easily be the name that everyone's mentioning, the name that everyone wants to see. So I'll just wait for that. Again, I don't want to pick and choose. I want the number one contenders. I want the toughest fights in my division. Like I said, who wants to fight Max back to back? Especially when you won the first fight 5 rounds to nil. But that's the type of champion I was. I was like, okay, there's no one else. This is the biggest fight. I need to have that fight. So that's why I did it. That's why I did that rematch. And now I'm just ready for them number one contenders, whoever it is. You know what I mean? I'm ready to do it. And then obviously you got Zombie screaming my name and saying some things. So again, like I got my eye on all of them. So whoever all he needs to do is beat Ortega or beat whoever's in front of him, and I'll see him before the year's out.
So, Alex, you said you want to take whoever is the next best option. Remains to be seen who it is. I want to ask you, who or where does the champ in other weight classes, the Triple C, the Olympic gold medalist, Henry Cejudo, where would he rank among the biggest challenges for you, intermixed with some of the names you've already mentioned?
As in a challenge, or as in
Yeah, where
where
in
does he
terms of
fit?
most deserving, in case of most deserving opponent,
Look,
where do you think he would slot in?
look, man. He's done great things in the divisions below us. So obviously flyweight, and then because he did great things in the flyweight, he got to jump the queue in bantamweight, and he got the belt there. So like he's done great things, but you know what I mean? To just keep jumping the queue, especially when you're retiring now and then you want to come back in, it's just, as you can see, even before my rematch, I was talking about, I ain't all about that. I ain't about people holding up divisions and whatnot. I want to fight number one contenders. And, that's what I've always been about. I want to be a great champion, just like we have had in our division, just like Max was taking out the number one contenders and wanting to fight the number one contenders. That's how it should be. And, that's what martial arts is all about. We've got a ranking system for a reason. And if someone's going to take that away from me, again, I'm trying to fight, I'm trying to fight for my legacy now. And I want to move forward and get that GOAT status. And fighting Henry Cejudo doesn't really help me in that way, if you get what I mean. Just purely because, I believe I'm going to be expected to win because he's 2 divisions lighter and whatnot. But if he's going to jump the queue, I just want to be compensated for that. If you're going to hold up the division, hold up my goals moving forward, pay me for it, and then we'll squeeze it in, and then we'll get back to the division. But in saying that, again, I want number one contenders.
Last question for me, Alex. You've been very generous with your time. Our mutual
Yep.
friend, Sam Bruce, is reporting that the UFC are keen to potentially hold an event in areas of Australia that are open, whether it's Perth or the Gold Coast, potentially New Zealand as well, with spectators in attendance. How might that affect your desired timetable for your next fight, assuming they can make that happen before the end of the year?
Mate, that'd be unreal. That would be unreal. Before the year's out, did they say a date or anything like that? But that's what I want to. I want to fight. I want to fight before the year's out. So, of course, if they bring it over here, let's do it. 100%.
Published children's author and, oh, by the way, featherweight champion of the world, Alex Volkanovski. Alex, always great with your time. He is Alex the Great. Thanks for joining us here on UFC Fight Camp.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN Plus.